Get out. Get out. Good boy.
Hi guys, another bitterly cold day. Need to get our exercise. I can put this to wide angle, and so that's what we're doing. Good forced march, a quick break, and then forced march back. And what a beautiful day it is, so I thought you might like to join me. Look at this. Isn't it just fantastic? Not an awful lot of sunlight left. It's about 1:30, so I've got 2 or 3 hours daylight. So that's what I'll do. I'll use it to the best of my advantage. And catch you later. Stand by. Good boy. Of course, I did have the harness on, and if you'd missed the other bank, he'd gone into the water, but only for seconds. I'd have whipped him out straight away. But you have to be very careful walking on dogs in severe conditions. Keep them dry and keep them off ice in case they fall through, and keep them tethered because you can't trust them because they're still on a learning curve, like we all are. Right then, onwards. Yep. Good boy. He is having a whale of a time. Just what the doctor ordered. Good boy. Yep. You can do it. Good boy. Another lesson in obstacle training. I wish I was as fit as he is. Well, welcome to camp. The first thing we have to do is get our wet top off after all the sweat and grafting through the snow and stubble, and cook a very late lunch. No breakfast or lunch today. 2 o'clock, time to eat, I think. I've been here before, you probably remember, about 3 or 4 months ago during a storm at the end of summer, when we were allowed to camp and do small recreational things, and it was a rough night that actually, although I did get some sleep, and so it's nice to be back. This is a very private little corner that I found, an enclosure of trees, as you can see. This is a little kind of harbour where very few people venture, which is rather nice. I've got lots of little nooks and crannies like that dotted around the countryside, and that's why getting out for an afternoon recce is valuable, because you can go and find these places and then know exactly where you're going. Right, stand by for lunch and get comfortable. It's amazing how much sweat builds up when you're on the move. And in these conditions, -2 I think it might be, you don't want to take any risks of exposure sitting around in wet clothes. So here we go. I always packed a dry t-shirt for the purpose of a change. And it's an old trick I learned when I used to do mountaineering with an RAF friend of mine, an old man who always did this. He got the top of Scarfell Pike, surrounded by people. He would just strip to the waist, shove in a dry shirt and light his pipe, and that was where I learned that trick from. Dry and warm, you can't beat it. Comforts of home in hostile conditions. under the trees there is no snow. You know, it's another microclimate of its own really. And I used to feel worried about animals surviving the winter, but actually if you look inside the forest, you know, it's quite sheltered. Dry actually, believe it or not. The pine needles under there after weeks of rain, sleet and snow are dry, or relatively dry, so animals can curl up and make a nest and stay pretty sheltered out of the storm. So it's not all bad. So if you were forced to occupy a forest situation in a national crisis or a global event that pushed you away from society and nowhere else to go, you're homeless or whatever, you could actually survive a couple of nights or a couple of days or weeks until you could regroup and find yourself again. I'm not actually myself a doomsday person or survivalist by instinct. I believe in the cooperative of people and collaboration. But if you had to survive, you could, just by using common sense, and if you have the kit that you need for the purpose, you can. So today's lunch is a kind of hot, spicy soup. A real winter feel. You cannot beat it. You know, becoming one with the elements and one with nature. There's my little buddy here. Just loves these little adventures. It's amazing how he's just under 2 years old, or roughly 2 years old. He's 15 or 16 in doggy terms, I think. He's still reaching his adolescence, so he's not to be trusted with the major responsibilities in life. But he is very cute, and he does want to oblige, but he does get carried away with life and excited by it all. But then, I think we all did in our youth. I mean, I certainly made misjudgments, lots of them. It wasn't until in my later life that I started to think more clearly and behave much more orderly. But then it was too late for me. So I think good parenting is always an advantage in life. So to all you parents out there, keep indoctrinating your children on the good things and the good practices of order and success, and they should do all right. That's very nice. Onto a good thing. Cheers. Do you know, we might not be able to go bugging out and camping much this year either, but you know, it's really nice just to get out for an hour for a good walk, have a spot of lunch and then another walk back, avoiding crowds, avoiding people. But it's something really nice about being outdoors and quiet just for an hour or two. You can't beat it. It's the best therapy on the planet. Good boy. There's been no screeching or noise today. I think he's getting more mature gradually, less excitable than he used to be, which is all good. Every breed of dog has a different temperament, I find, and they're bred for the particular type of temperament and for a purpose. Chin chin.